Progressive's Up-Payment Program. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Tom Slays. Welcome on in. This is episode 239, my friends. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. What are we doing? How are we feeling? What's cracking? It is another Monday in August. Are chilling. We got Ghost in the chat coming through for 8 months in a fucking row. Thank you so much, King. Much love. Let's fucking get it, baby. 8 months is fucking banging. Jesus Christ. Let's fucking go, baby. Much love. I hope you're well. What's cracking? How we doing? Well, varies. Let's fucking get it, baby. Hope you're well. How we feeling on this fine Monday? I'm on the clock right now, but this comeback about Omega is gonna be crazy. Oh, you never left. Don't worry about it. You never left. You're all good. You're all good. Don't you worry about that. But I am excited for some submissions tonight. I will say that. I will definitely say that. But you guys know the dealio. Like I said, this is episode 239. So let's dive into some weekly recap shit. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And then we're going to talk about recruiting, SoundCloud shit, Battle of the Beats updates, and then we'll get into some reactions and reviews. So it should be quick. But I think the most exciting thing there, too, as well as some Battle of the Beats updates, because the bracket will be going live tonight following the show. So that'll be fun. And then the round one will start, and all of the producers will have the next week or so to cook. But we'll get into those details relatively soon. So let's get into it. Let's talk weekly recap jazz. So, what did you miss at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so? So, per usual, early access Music Mondays Patreon content is available right now on the Music Mondays Patreon. So, if you missed the live show or you want to go download the live show, every single Tuesday it is available over there on our Patreon to download in full high quality, if that's something you're interested in. So again, every single Tuesday we do have early access Patreon content over there on the Music Mondays Patreon. Heading into other things, per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. $20 flat shipping in the United States. So feel free to send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email if that's something that interests you, because we do have a few left. Not many, but just a few. So again, if that's something that interests you, definitely let us know. So that's Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So again, make sure you follow us on social media to stay up to date with all of our playlist updates, with all the podcast updates, with all of our competition updates, with all of our event updates, and all that other good jazz. So again, just make sure you follow us on social media to stay up to date when those submissions do go live. But again, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do go live every single Wednesday. And then we usually cap off Wednesday with some audio podcast promo. So per usual, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. But heading into Thursday, episode 238 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube, or all audio platforms, actually. So again, every single Thursday that does drop on all audio platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. So again, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Episode 238 is available right now on all audio platforms. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in to episode 238. That was another banger in the books, per usual, my friends. Per usual. So continuing on with Thursday, brand new YouTube upload is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, which is titled Battle of the Beats 2025 signups are live, which of course they're no longer live. Signups are closed, but that's a good video to kind of go back and look at, where I sort of break down the format for Battle of the Beats, the rules, the guidelines, and things like that. So if you have any other questions, definitely join the Music Mondays Discord and send me a message or anything like that. But again, Battle of the Beats 2025 signups are live. YouTube upload is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And new uploads are available every single Thursday and every single Saturday on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. I think we're only like 7 subs away from 330. So definitely go sub to the channel, go show out some love, because like I said, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. I can't wait for that. I know, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. New era for sure. Yep, definitely, Ghost. I agree. And then we ended off Thursday, actually, with August 2024 Patreon Appreciation. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. That is a monthly segment where we kind of break down and show love to the current month's Patreons. Of course, we're backed up by some months there, so I'm trying to get a lot of that Patreon appreciation out while we still can. So Again, go show all of our Music Mondays Patreon some love, and definitely go check that out and go show that post some love. So that was Thursday. Busy Thursday, 100%. And of course, we headed into Friday with a brand new article by the homie Jaded of the Music Mondays staff writing team. They wrote about the mixtape era, which I thought was a really cool topic. I mean, you know, because I grew up in that like early 2010 to like 2014-ish era, you know, where we used to just live on like DatPiff and My Mixtapes and, you know, websites like that. So I thought that was a really cool piece to kind of go back and, you know, revisit. And Jay actually did a really good job with that. So definitely go check that out. Go shout some love. And go show Jay some love because we got some bangers out. Actually, go show all the Music Monday staff team some love. We've actually put out some insane pieces this year, so lots of good reading available on the Music Mondays homepage. That was Friday. Heading into Saturday, episode 238 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on our YouTube channel. Again, if you prefer to watch the podcast on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, that does drop every single Saturday, but it is available on all audio platforms, like I said, Spotify and all that good jazz. So, huge shout out to everybody that tuned in and showed love to episode 238. Definitely go check that out on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. That was Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 200 is available right now on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. That is fucking crazy to even say, but we finally hit 200 volumes, man. 200 fucking volumes is actually really, really fucking wild. That was curated by me. The cover was done by me and everything like that. So definitely. So let's see here. That's just a crazy milestone. And again, huge shout out to everybody that's been submitting to SoundCloud Sunday and showing SoundCloud Sunday some love. I think there's like a new playlist in order when it comes down to SoundCloud Sunday. I think we could do like a best of SoundCloud Sunday or a best of like 2024 or something like that. I feel like a playlist like that when it comes down to SoundCloud Sunday would be really cool. Especially now that we have 200 volumes at our disposal and just like, you know, 200. I mean, dude, that's like over 1,000 songs. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of music over there on SoundCloud Sunday. You know what I mean? So there's a lot we could do with some of those playlists. So I'm excited for the future. But like I said, volume 200 of SoundCloud Sunday is available right now. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And again, that was curated by me, and the cover art was done by me. So per usual, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in and showed love to SoundCloud Sunday. Heading into, let's see here, that is today, Monday. So that's pretty much your weekly recap, and that's pretty much everything you missed here on the Music Mondays platform. And of course, make sure you follow us on social media, and make sure you stay up to date with all the Music Mondays jazz. So next thing we got to discuss is we got to head into what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So I think obviously the big thing here that we're focusing on is Battle of the Beats, which again, round one will be starting this week. All the producers that entered will be getting all their loops and materials and things like that that they need to cook up. So that's a huge thing that's happening here at Music Mondays. But as far as our monthly content goes, we're going to be putting up some more video interviews, video content in general, right? Things like Workshop Wednesday, Feature Friday, the breakdown, and really starting to do a little bit more like long form YouTube content when it comes down to things outside of the Music Mondays podcast, right? So that's going to be fun. And like I said, a lot of the monthly stuff will be staying the same, so nothing's changing there when it comes down to that. And of course, the weekly jazz will be staying the same, right? So when it comes down to SoundCloud Sunday, the Music Mondays podcast, weekly articles, and things like that, all that will be staying the same. But we're going to be pretty heavily focused on Battle of the Beats 2025 to make sure that the voting goes well, make sure all the social media posts goes well, and a lot of those things, right? So Battle of the Beats is going to be a big deal for sure. But that's pretty much everything coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And again, per usual, make sure you follow us on social media and stay up to date with all of our good jazz, because sometimes we have some emergency announcements, some announcement that I can't really talk about, you know, up until, you know, we do the show and things like that. So You guys know that. But like I said, make sure you follow us on social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or anything like that. Make sure you go follow us on your preferred platform. So, let's see here. So, that's what's coming over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Monday staff roles. You are a writer, journalist, curator, designer. You want to do some long form content. You want to do some short form content here on Music Mondays when it comes to social media and things like that. Definitely let us know. Send us a message. Send us a DM. Send us an email. We'd be happy to kind of introduce you to the staff team and have you on board, right? Of course, resume is preferred, but definitely not required. If you're somebody who's kind of new to the platform and you're like, yo, I'm trying to get into underground independent media, I don't know really where to start. We're always interested in kind of teaching some of the new guys some skills when it comes down to journalism and short form content and writing in general, right? And curating, of course, and things like that, playlisting. So, again, if joining the Music Monday staff team interests you, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We do have a 2025 Music Monday staff role guide where I kind of break down all the Music Monday staff roles in a little bit more detail when it comes down to your content and schedule and things like that. So that is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So definitely go check that out if that interests you. Or again, send me a message, send us a DM, send us an email, or anything like that. So that's recruiting. Let's talk exclusives. So when it comes down to exclusives, we are on the hunt for unreleased tracks. So again, if you'd like to have a track hosted and promoted across all of our social media, and like I said, hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And again, we are only interested in unreleased material. So again, feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards, right? You want to go upload it on all platforms, you want to go do a music video, you want to go pretty much go do anything like that, that's completely fine. But again, we're only interested in unreleased material. So same goes for YouTube as well. If you have an unreleased music video, if you have an unreleased audio, AMV, lyric video, or anything like that that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, and of course across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. So let's see here. And again, per usual, we're only interested in unreleased material, so definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email, and feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards, right? Not a problem at all. So that's exclusive jazz. What else do we have to go through? So we did recap. We did what's coming over the course of the next week or so. We did recruiting. We did SoundCloud stuff. Okay. Battle of the Beats 2025 updates. Let's talk about it. So per usual, last week, like I said, we had a segment where I kind of broke down Battle of the Beats in great detail when it came down to guidelines, rules, and things like that, and how the tournament is going to work, right? So this is week 1 officially. So signups are definitely closed. We have plenty of signups now when it comes down to filling out a bracket and things like that. So now the next step is essentially I'll be the one cooking up the bracket. I'll be matching up people randomly, so there's going to be no like bias or anything like that. Everything's going to be completely random and who your opponent is, right, when it comes down to the bracket. But after the show tonight, that'll be my main thing. Is I'm going to finalize the bracket, make sure that goes live, and then those of you who signed up, you guys will be added to a private Discord channel in the Music Mondays Discord, where I'll kind of provide you guys all of the materials that you need, right, your loops and things like that. And you'll have from pretty much today all the way up until Friday the 22nd to get your tracks in, right? Obviously, preferably before then, but you have a good 5 or so days to cook up with said loop and then turn it back into us. And then we'll be able to make a video clip of it. And then we're going to post it on social media and have the community vote on which one they prefer, right? So that's that. And then that voting will be taking place this Friday all the way up until Monday. So it'll be a 72-hour window where you can get votes in, right? So it's not just going to be one day or anything like that, but I didn't want to make the voting process like super fucking long. You know what I mean? So again, just to reiterate, this week, all the producers who signed up will be getting all of your loops and materials and rules and things like that. and you'll be added to a private Discord channel where I'll be talking to you guys personally, and of course the Music Money staff team will be there as well. And we'll be walking you guys through everything. We'll provide you with the loops that we got provided, and then you guys have until Friday to cook up. We'll put all the round one beats on social media, and everybody else will be able to vote on them. And once Friday comes, those will go live, and voting will close that Monday. And then next Monday, so a week from today, will be round two, and we'll see who advances and then who goes down the bracket and things like that, right? So definitely one and done. Obviously, if you're knocked out, you're knocked out. But that'll be very interesting. That'll be very interesting. I'm kind of excited to see, and you know, voting will be taking place on not only Twitter but Instagram as well. So that'll be fun because last year, we weren't able to do polls on Instagram yet. I think like around like the Music Mondays Awards era. I don't think we were able to do it like that. But now this year, now that we have access to polls on Instagram, I think we'll do both, so that way we can tally up the votes from each platform, right? Whether that be Twitter or Instagram, add them together, and then whoever has the most votes obviously advances in the bracket, and then whoever doesn't obviously moves out of the bracket, and then we'll go on to week 2 and then week 3 and things like that. So pretty self-explanatory, but tonight will be bracket night, especially after the show. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'll be available 24/7. So again, if you have any questions when it comes to Battle of the Beats or any of our feature Music Mondays events, make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you you know, just send me a message, send us a DM, send us an email or anything like that. This update will definitely be posted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, make sure you go subscribe over there and make sure you go show that some love and make sure you go like the video. And make sure that you look out for new uploads, man, because we do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there is on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. W. Yeah, Battle of the Beats commences, my friends. Battle of the Beats commences. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. I mean, the hard part's over. I mean, the flyers are done. The guidelines are done. We have all the loops. So now the fun begins, you know? I'm definitely hyped for it as well. I'm definitely hyped for it, 100%. So, you guys know the dealio. Let's get into it and let's hop over to Twitter and let's go see what's cracking. So, let's get some reactions and reviews in, my friends, eh? All right. Bam. Let's go pop over to Twitter and see what's going on. So, per usual, if you're new here, tweets are always in the same format every single week. For submissions, they'll always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on August 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/soundplays, which is here and now. And of course, the only thing that changes in this tweet every single week is the date, so make sure you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet and not an older show. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from obviously vocals to instrumentals, remixes to acoustic covers to YouTube edits to photography to videography, music videos, AMVs. We've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. So feel free to drop whatever you feel like deserves some spotlight on the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, we do have a 3-hour show limit just to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. Again, some would argue that a 3-hour show is still a little bit long, but definitely not as long as some of our older shows, which used to run, 6-7 hours, which is definitely crazy to do looking back on it, but still a fun time. But again, 3-hour show limit, just keep that in mind. And of course, we're one of the only live shows here on Twitch every single Monday reacting to music. So again, we like to keep the show a little bit more palatable and high quality as possible, right? So that's kind of the thought process behind that. Outside of that, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following us on Twitter before you do submit. Not only does that help spread our message and grow our platform, but that pays respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And of course, you gain access to a wonderful community of very, very talented creatives. So kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, the only thing that you do got to know is Patreon subscribers' submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, premium, or advanced, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies over there on the Music Mondays Patreon, including early access content and things like that. But one of the things you do gain access to is the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, you gain access to what is called the Music Mondays Fast Pass, and you'll be able to have all of your submissions be played first here on the show, and of course at the height of viewership and at the beginning of the show. So when people go and watch the show back, you're one of the first submissions that people do see. So, one last thing I do got to mention is that submissions do close actually about a couple hours before the show starts, so keep that in mind. You have about 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, but a good rule of thumb is that if submissions are closed, the show is most likely already started. So if the show is live, again, a good rule of thumb, submissions are closed. And again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow and as consistent as possible, and we like to give each submission like a fair amount of time and make sure that we get to everybody in a prompt manner, right? So again, make sure you get your submissions in before the show does go live. Like I said, submissions do go live every single Tuesday following the live show. So again, if you're looking to submit for episode 240, make sure you go drop your links and portfolios tomorrow. If you're watching this live anywhere else on YouTube or Spotify or anything like that, submissions are already open for episode 240, so make sure you go show that some love. And go drop your links. Outside of that, we do have a 2025 How to Submit to the Music Mondays Podcast YouTube guide right now that is live on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of dive into the Music Mondays Podcast in a little bit more detail when it comes down to why we take submissions on Twitter, the idea behind the podcast, more deeper like podcast lore and things like that. So if that interests you, definitely go check that out on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So I think we're good to go, my friends. All right, per usual, we're going to go see how many Patrons we have tonight. I'm pretty sure we're loaded with Patrons. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure we are fucking loaded. So let's see. We have... All right, we have the homie Jordan. We have the homie TDG. And we got Laveri. So we have 3 Patreons tonight, and then the rest of the community submissions. Okay. So we're kicking it off tonight with Jordan. And actually, Jordan's been on a crazy run with their recent project, Not Now, I'm Busy. But we've been reacting to music videos from them for the probably like past like 2 or 3 episodes. But this week, Jordan kind of switched it up and sent us in a Spotify track. So I'm kind of interested. But again, Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, sent in something new. So let's go see what we got here. I'm down. Oh, I'm high up this time. Let's go. See, that's kind of why I keep the order organic, because like, you know, sometimes people are high up and like I even remember like Onwuka was like last for like quite a while there, and then like some weeks he would just like get bumped up. It was so weird, but I just like to keep it random for that reason. So that's good. At least you're high up. But like I said, Jordan came through with a Spotify link this time, and it's Tunnel Vision from Not Now, I'm Busy. This is a 19-track project, and we've reacted to, man, quite a few music videos and quite a few of these tracks, actually. But not all of them, and definitely not Tunnel Vision yet. Yeah, there's quite a few here that we have yet to react to, so I'm down. Normally, I'm the one who closes off. Right, goes. Right, exactly. Okay. Let's get into it. Jordan, Tunnel Vision, let's go.
Than to act like I don't care it off. Done a lot of sharing, no, you didn't really hear it off. Got a little problem, it's barely even there at all. A part of me knows, but the chance I have is very small. There's something in the air and it's very strong. I'm still waiting on this thing, it's taking very long. I've been doing all I can, did I do it wrong? Here I am, just a man trying to get along. Look around when I get down, do they know I'm gone? Not right now, I've been feeling lost. It's been dead, I'm on edge, got my fingers crossed. If I'm lucky, it's on spread, I don't pay the cost. Look above me over my head at how dark it got. Got this cloud till it ends and it rains a lot. I heard nothing that you said, I just dream a lot. I keep going with no end, didn't think to stop. I was too high, can't let 100% pop. Close my eyes, hold my breath, that's how deep it got. I keep going, time spent, I've been on the clock. When you know it's the end, are you seeing God? I just question, is she really trying to even odds? Or it's just a game, one that we already lost. I can't sleep up through the night, she won't let me pause. I dig deeper in this life, don't let me get lost. Don't let me get lost. I can't let go. I'm tight to what I know.
Wow. Hmm. The outro is great too. The instrumental really stands out on this one. You know, it's such a Jordan style instrumental as well. You know, like pure, obviously self-produced, but it's got this lo-fi jazz kind of feel going on, but like at the same time it's blending like a few different styles. It's really wild. It's really really wild. I mean, man, again, on a project like this one definitely stands out, but it's also one of the ones that you could like forget about up until you like give the whole project like another listen. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this one. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, um we're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Tunnel Vision. Instrumental, let's talk. Obviously produced by Jordan. Fantastic. I mean, look, let's just get the mix thing out of the way because, we've pretty much ran down through, I'd say, like 40% of this project live on the show. And the mix across the board when it comes down to production and vocals has just been really, really top tier. Tight, crispy, right where it needs to be. Levels are solid. Nothing really stands out that, like, bothers me too much. Especially, like, looking at it from, like, a listener perspective. Yeah, no real gripes when it comes down to the mix, man, truthfully. And this one kind of falls into that category for me. And of course, something you definitely want to point out in case you're new here or anything like that. But Jordan definitely does have a very, very consistent mix, especially when it comes down to strictly Not Now and Busy. Very, very consistent across the board, for sure. Very consistent. So, instrumental mix solid, for sure. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand. I'm gonna have to go with the melodies here. The melodies bring like such like a lo-fi, like almost kind of bouncy feel a little bit, but it definitely has this like lo-fi cloud like feel, especially with like the reverse melody and things like that. That there's just small stuff when it comes down to the melodies that I think really stick out. Drums are a really, really good argument though. I think drums are a really close second, but I'm gonna go with the melodies on this one for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, much like the instrumental and the instrumentals across the whole project that we've reacted to on the show. Very crisp, clean, straight to the point. Levels are solid. This one again brings like a little bit more like organic rap sound from Jordan, so the mix doesn't go like really out of its way to like add a bunch of effects or anything like that. It's just high quality, raw, but still very crispy. So the vocal mix definitely up there for me, for sure. Vocal Shining Star on the other hand. Uh flow and cadence immediately kind of sticks out to me. I feel like flow and cadence is something that you could really, really put up there. Writing too is very like subliminal and like poetic almost. But I'm gonna have to go flow and cadence and delivery on this one. I felt like Jordan was just very like this was one of the ones where you crank out in 10 minutes. Like it just felt like that to me. Especially like recording wise anyway. Maybe not writing or anything, but far as like recording, like this is one where I feel like Jordan was just like on his A game, you know, like 99 Jordan kind of shit. Um, so yeah, let's go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Instrumental solid, vocal solid. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I don't believe actually that I've gotten a chance to react to this cover yet. You know, because we've been reacting to a lot of the music videos. We reacted to some unreleased right before the album even dropped. So yeah, no, we didn't even have a chance to actually react to this. But this cover art was done by the homie Michael Monago, and this is fucking crazy. I won't lie to you. Um, you know, these self-portrait kind of covers are always really, really fucking solid, but this is one where Jordan, you know, they kind of took their time when it came down to like which one they were going to use and how they really wanted it to look. And, you know, having like self-titled albums is one thing, but having like a self-portrait cover is also like a whole other thing. You know what I mean? So for such a large body of work, right? And a project that obviously means a lot to Jordan and the listeners, I feel like, you know, a cover like this that's very simple but very, very striking and like full with of just detail in general. I feel like that fits like a full length album perfectly, in my opinion. That's what I really, really love about this. But aesthetics definitely on point, especially for something that's like big in storytelling. Like it's not too distracting, it's not giving you the wrong impression. It's simple, straight to the point. And I like the color palettes too, right? It kind of has that like old timey like retro photo look as well. You know, some like old school like note paper or something like that. But aesthetics definitely on point and totally is album worthy. That's for sure. Overall theme, tunnel vision. I mean, this one's very it's simple, but it's not simple at the same time, right? Because the concept of like tunnel vision and like being tunnel visioned is different for everybody, but this is like really more of Jordan's perspective and experience with it, especially like you know, being like locked in, so to speak, right? I feel like that's another term for like just really tunnel visioning and just like really, really staying focused like no matter what. And you know, things kind of want to blur your tunnel vision or they kind of like get in the way of certain shit, and also like you kind of almost get in the way of yourself as well, you know. So tunnel vision is a really great concept. I feel like Jordan did a really good job kind of explaining like what they feel from that perspective and what they feel from an idea or the what's the word or the concept of being tunnel visioned, right? So well done, my friend, well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on Spotify, by the way. And make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 6 followers away from 430, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you give these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. All right. Wow. That was a great way to kick off the show. I mean, you know, that project is so consistent, man. Jesus. But huge shout out to Jordan. So, following Jordan, up next in our second Patreon of the night is the homie TDG, aka Till the Grave. And a very talented hip hop artist, TDG is, came through with a track titled White Boy Anthem. God forbid a white boy gets to moving in the rap game. Product mixed by me as well. White Boy Anthem is insane work. I'm down. I'm definitely down. Let's see what we got here. White Boy Anthem, prod and performed by TDG. August 9th. So quite literally freaking holy shit. That's like super new. What the fuck? Like barely even 10 days old. All right. I'm down. TDG, White Boy Anthem. Let's go.
TDG. Yeah. They're like, whoa, damn, white boy, you so mean. Yeah. They're like, whoa, damn, white boy, you so mean. They're like, whoa, damn, white boy, you so mean. You keep it clean, bling boy, see.
What the fuck?
Deadly aim, pistol P. I don't conceal the heat, I'm in the streets. You know it's on me. Texas Ranger, the way I never miss a beam. Lights on me like everywhere I be. They say white boy, yeah, you cap. Nah, I still flip the pack in the burbs. We've been working, make a whole lot of worth. Best up, but my dick was in the dirt. What's the word? You left me on red. What's up? Simon says so do what I said.
This one is crazy, bro.
Stuff almost too much. Damn, I started too young. Yeah. Early bird gets the worm like my cockle do. Don't do shit. Playing gold plays on my coach can't do shit. No let up. Time to do this. Move it to music. My bass bump like turn the city up. Are you with me? Cause we going up. Yeah. Okay, hold on, buddy. Okay, hold on, buddy. Okay, hold up, honey. Yeah, I pull up hungry. Can't talk right now. Gotta count this money. Gotta bounce the money. Blunt too
Wow.
got me dummy. Life suck, but it's shit funny. Can't let up, never get up, buddy. Can't let up, you gotta get up, buddy.
Wow. The instrumental and just the overall like delivery and like the attitude of this one is crazy. Like you could really just tell that TDG is like on the path of like upgrading everything at the same time. This is probably one of the craziest instrumentals we've heard in 2025 from TDG. You know, it has to be. It's definitely up there. It's definitely fucking up there for sure. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of White Boy Anthem. So, instrumental. Again, what a it has this like really solid, like good, like dark trap, almost like diving to like a little bit of like a rage style, and it just hits the really good sweet spot of like TDG production. Like this is the definition of TDG production right here, and they really thrive on these types of instrumentals, like for sure. That was clean. I agree, Ghost. I agree, very clean. But instrumental mix solid, really fucking solid. Nothing that I would like ultimately gripe about at all. Nothing clashing, super overbearing or anything like that. Drums cut through nicely. Everything hits really hard, but not too hard. Levels were good. Nothing that I could really gripe about, to be honest with you. But instrumental shining star, man. Probably the drums. The 808s and some of the slides and how everything was hitting. I gotta go drums, man. I gotta go drums 100%. 100%. Melodies are definitely a close second. I like the structure too. Structure's definitely underrated, but I'm gonna have to go drums. Definitely. So, instrumental solid. Definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix has a real good like grimy TDG style mix as well, but it's not too drenched in effects, but it has that right amount where I think it really works for TDG. You know, like every artist is different when it comes down to their vocal chain and what they like on their vocals and what they like on certain songs, right? But this is one where I enjoyed TDG's mix. You know, levels were good. And again, nothing clashing too overbearing. I thought the drums really cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sat nice in the instrumental. Again, not really anything I can like super gripe about, especially when it comes down to quality and levels. I feel like it was solid. Vocal shining star, on the other hand. I think off rip I wanted to say floating cadence and delivery, right? But writing could be up there. But yeah, I don't know. I still kind of want to go floating cadence and delivery, especially like off rip. It was pretty crazy. Let's go floating cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely the drums. Vocal solid. Definitely the flow, cadence, and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. You know, going back again with the childhood photos, man. I mean, You guys know how I feel about some of these. Like, if you're gonna use it for like a single or like an EP, or sometimes you don't feel like doing art, or sometimes the project doesn't call for it. Sometimes you just want to use some shit like this. I feel like it always works out, man. Always, always, always works out. Just taking those like old childhood photos and just like repurposing them again. Like I would say, I feel like everybody's done that at least once. You know what I mean? So, um, obviously, a photo in the back, TDG in the top right, White Boy Anthem in the bottom right. Solid, man. Really, really solid, especially for a single. And I like the TDG in that font as well. But overall theme, I mean, quite literally self-explanatory. White Boy Anthem and TDG's kind of, establishing their skill and their kind of space in this sort of area and community and sound. And it's really one of those ones where you don't want to dive too deep into a theme. You just really want to appreciate the writing and lyrics when it comes down to something like this, because it really is like one of those anthem, like get hype, go to the gym, one of those ones that you just like blam with a nice system. Like it's really one of those songs. So I feel like TDG did really well with it, man. Really, really well. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow TDG on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter. They're only 3 followers away from 160. Make sure you go show them some love on the bird down, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friend. Well, let's get it. Alrighty. So, we left off with the homie TDG. Up next is our last but certainly not least Patreon of the night, the homie Laveries. Now, Laveries has been on quite the run in 2025. Everything from singles to their recent projects to music videos, all the way up until now, we're getting some new Laveries. And this will be very interesting. So, Laveries said in their caption, "Break time is over, I'm back. Laveries and Go Get a Check, New Talents acoustic remix." Okay, so hold on. We got a handful right here by the homie Laveries. Let's see what we got here. Hold up. Let's give this a quick pause. Go 720 because we're streaming. Let's see. Laveries and Go Get a Check, New Tats acoustic remix, studio visualizer. Original beat produced by Ghost and Vendor, produced by Steven. Okay, so we got the acoustic version prod Steven, and of course the original produced by the homie Ghost and Vendor. Wow. Okay, so this is gonna be crazy. I don't know what this is gonna sound like. I'm very interested here. I'm actually very, very interested. All right, volume full, go full screen. All right, let's get into it. New Tats acoustic remix. Let's go. No way. No way.
Okay. Yeah, I want some new tests, but I'm too broke. Thinking about what I'ma write on my tombstone. Always searching, trying to find out what I don't know. No, it's man, ain't no way that I can let it go. Skin cold, really hoping that it would snow, but it's only frozen water on my window. Skin cold, really hoping that it would snow, but it's only frozen water on my window. Yeah, I done put my heart in this, put my all in this. Ain't no way that I can't quit. Yeah, I just gotta stay on my grind, keep my head up high. In time, it'll all make sense. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Take a big check and throw it in a bitch face. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Can't chat with you if you ain't getting paid. Yeah, I'm trying to get paid, that's my main focus, and I'm tucking it away, I ain't trying to blow it. Yeah, I have my real life, yeah, I don't post it. Just listen to my words, all I spit is true shit. I don't spit bullshit, that's what they bout. I make crowds get turned, we gon' rock out.
Let's go, bro. What?
Rolling loud, trying to book me, they done found out. On the road, all summer doing shows. Still tall when the weather gets cold. Okay, you don't know how many albums I sold. Okay, labels calling, but they can't get a hold of me. Big talk, but the numbers ain't big enough. I don't need your money, nah, I ain't in a rush. I done told you got a few albums in a tuck. Might drop, they can't get enough. I done drop recession rap. I done drop recession proof. Yeah, this next little mixtape is gonna take us to the moon. Yeah, I'm steady working, but that shit is not coming soon. Then they all gon' scream.
This is so good.
I'm a god just like I'm Zeus, yeah. Yeah, I done put my heart in this, put my all in this. Ain't no way that I can quit. Yeah, I just gotta stay on my grind, keep my head up high. In time, it'll all make sense. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Take a big check and throw it in a bitch face. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Can't chat with you if you ain't getting paid.
Yeah, I done put my heart in this, put my all in this. Ain't no way that I can quit. Yeah, I just gotta stay on my grind, keep my head up high. In time, it'll all make sense. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Take a big check, throw it in a bitch face. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Can't chat with you if you ain't getting paid.
What
yeah,
the fuck?
I'ma get more. Keep the faith once we grind, race, sleep, snow. Saying go get a check to my kinfolk. Too much in my pockets, I can't fold. Never lonely when your name pop on my phone. Freeze frame your face on the ride home. I'ma live it to the fullest, might drive slow. Matching tats, so I know that I found home. Love varies, I think we might blow. Toast 1, 2 blunts, chase our goals. Never waiting for a change, I'ma pave way. Mama said I knew you'd be great. Stick to this, never switch, that's what I know. Everything in my way, I must go. Through it all, stay strong, stay patient. Lord knows how long been waiting.
Yeah, I done put my heart in this, put my all in this. Ain't no way that I can quit. Yeah, I just gotta stay on my grind, keep my head up high. In time, it'll all make sense. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Take a big check and throw it in a bitch face. Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Can't chat with you if you ain't getting paid.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Can't chat with you if you ain't getting paid.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't really care what a bitch say. Take a big check and throw it in a bitch face.
Dude, that was fun. That was fun. If I could describe that in one word, that was fun. That was one of the most well done acoustic remixes of like a completely different genre I've heard in quite some time, especially on the show. Wow, quite a few things to talk about here. Quite a few things to talk about. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, obviously. We're gonna talk about the vocals, and we're gonna talk about the visual for New Tat's acoustic remix. So, so the original is already a fire instrumental, right? But obviously, way more of like an alt hip hop kind of style. This one, obviously, being an acoustic remix, a little bit more chill, a little bit more indie, right? First off, mix is fucking great. Nothing super clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would like really switch up on this. I mean, it's a very like simple kind of style, right? But it works really well, and everything's so crisp and loud, and like the levels are good, and very sounds great, and Go Get a Check sounds great. Yeah, no, I don't really have any gripes for this production, like whatsoever at all. You know what I mean? Levels are great. It's just like even the shit down to like the hats being so simple was like a really nice touch, you know. And then like you had the piano melody in the background. I feel like this was really solid, really, really fucking solid. So definitely no gripes with the instrumental mix. Instrumental Shining Star might actually be the drums, but I do love the melodies here. Like the guitar is great, the piano's great. I mean, I do want to say drums, but I mean the melodies really, really took over here. You know, I feel like the melodies gotta be number one. The hats is sick. I agree. Ghost, for sure. Let's go melodies for this one. Just because the guitar was really crazy as well. But let's definitely go melodies. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. I love the fucking mix. Obviously Laveri's kind of had like somewhat a similar version to their original verse, but it's a little bit more like acoustic-y. It's a little bit more cleaner. It's a little bit more raw. You know what I mean? So they probably went back in and either edited it a little bit or anything like that, but. Regardless, it sounds really crispy in the acoustic version, though. Like, really, really crispy. And again, levels are solid. Mixing's great. I mean, the effects are fine. Again, nothing I would, like, ultimately change on this one, to be so real with you. Like, nothing that I could, like, really think of that like, kind of bothers me with this at all. Yeah, no. And even, like, Go Get a Check as well. Like, I feel like they sound really, really solid on this, you know? Because sometimes with like acoustic tracks and a little bit more of these like alternative styles, like there's a lot more room for your vocals to sound, more dry or, just like a little bit off, right? But when it comes down to these two, I feel like this duo sounds really, really fucking solid, really, really fucking solid. So yeah, no gripes with the vocal mix at all. Definitely not. So, Vocal mix definitely on point. Vocal shining star. I mean, with the acoustic remix in mind, I think flow and cadence and delivery is up there. With the acoustic remix in mind, I do like the writing still, but the flow and cadence and delivery, I feel like really kind of shines here. I feel like it really, really fucking shines. I won't lie. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk about the visual. So, we talk about simple visuals, we talk about DIY music videos and things like that, right? But this one's even like going as simple as possible. And all Laveries did was kind of record the studio session, right? Like they didn't even really go for like a music video vibe at all. This is almost like a little bit more of a vlog style with the track over the vlog, which is a fucking great idea. Like Laveries is actually like, pushing the bar when it comes down to what they do for certain pieces. And again, like doing the bare minimum, you can get so much out of the bare minimum too. Like you don't have to be filming music videos all the time. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be doing that type of shit. You can just do something like this where you film a studio session and then you can kind of either use it for a full visual, chop it up, maybe you do X, Y, or Z with it. But still, at the end of the day, all you have to do is prop your phone up. You know what I mean? But then, of course, if you want to take it to a new level and then film clips here or there, get good angles, do whatever you want to do, like some of the visuals that we've seen here on the show, or even some other Laveries music videos, you could kind of go that route too, right? But I think doing it in this fashion was a really, really good shout, because everybody was kind of cooking up, and it made for a really good visual for an acoustic song. That's what I really love about this is the concept and like the fact that it was the acoustic version. Like it made for a very chill visual, which I think really, really helped it out. So, well done, my friend. Well done. This was awesome. Huge shout out to Laveries. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go sub to Laveries' channel, by the way. They're approaching 1.1K on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Laveries on Twitter as well. We're only 9 followers away from 140, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Okay, wish I was involved, but that's clean. Yeah, that was fucking fire. That was absolutely fire. That was really well done. 100%. 100%. So that concludes all of our Music Mondays Patrons for the night. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan. Huge shout out to the homie TDG. Huge shout out to the homie Laveries. And huge shout out to Ryuki, Drama Eyes, King Mark, and Kruger over there on the Music Mondays Patreon. You guys are fucking wonderful. And of course, Patreon link in the description everywhere if you'd like to go check that out and get some information over there on Patreon. So, you guys know the deal. We're going to start at the top with the rest of the community submissions. And we're going to get going. So, up first is the homie Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip-hop artist and writer. Came through with another Moss and Me track, Endless Discover Sam's. Some of these titles are fucking hilarious. All the titles are hilarious. But, yeah, Sam's Raps, again, has had a really solid 2025, to be honest with you. And seeing their journey and seeing a lot of their collaborations and some of their smaller projects get released and things like that, it's been a real pleasure. Especially being able to react to it here on the show. But let's go see what we got here. So, how many tracks deep are we with the Moss and Me? I'm kind of curious now. So, out of 8 tracks, Anthill, Kara, Sam's, I think we did. Sam's and the Spider, Sam's dropped this morning. Beatles, Sam's Fur. I think we only have like the last 3 left, I think. Yeah, because I remember Kara Sam's, yep. Okay, so we still have Morning Moss, I think. Lily Sam's and Arms, and After Party Fun. Okay. All right. I'm down. Let's get into it. Sam's Raps, Endless Discover Sam's from the Moss and Me. Let's go.
Tape. Yeah, you fresh to the game like you ain't gotta save. You only need 1 take. You put lines on the page every day, take a shot. You only need 1 make. Leave your mind to the side.
What
testing
the
mosquitoes
fuck?
I just trying to get in. I'll dress it, just needed to be sit alone when I'm stressing. Like leave me alone, trying to process the message. Get the cream in, I steam it, I slow pour Rosetta. Believe me, I'll teach if you need a professor. The handsome TA type of playwright and legend. You need me, I'll be in the lab tested methods.
Wow. Holy shit.
Scientific, surgical, give me beats, murder 'em. Use utensils purposeful to slice you at the perlicue. I'm chaotic, neutral, commerc you, but I'm merciful. I know the style unusual, but we avant-garde like bitches brew.
Wow. There was a lot of clever fucking lines in this one. And then like switching up the flows and the cadences here in like only a minute and 35 seconds. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. See, like Sam's is a crazy fucking artist, man. Like rapping all that into a minute 35 is fucking crazy. There's a couple different flows and cadences. Some of the smaller punchlines and just things that would go over normal people's heads, or if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't figure it out. Like, this was everything in a minute 35. That is fucking crazy. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here, actually. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Endless Discover Sams. So, instrumental. Actually fantastic. I feel like it's a perfect Sam's Raps instrumental. I feel like if there was like a Sam's Raps like type beat uploaded on YouTube, this would be something like it. You know, it has this jazzy lo-fi kind of boom bap, but still like very like raw organic hip hop feel to it. So it's blending a few things, but overall I feel like it's a great choice for Sam's, and of course with Huggy on production, it's definitely solid. You know what I mean? So mix per usual, fantastic. You know, Sam's Raps and crew always have a really, really solid, consistent mix, so I'm not really shocked. And everything on the Moss and Me in general has had a very, very solid and consistent mix, so something you always want to point out for anybody new here, but Sam's Raps definitely has a very consistent mix, even when it comes down to their production and vocals. So, instrumental mix, solid. Instrumental, shining star. You know, I do feel like the melodies are up there, I won't lie. I definitely feel like the melodies are up there, but I kind of want to go the drums on this one. They kept up the really good bounce, they kept up the really good pace, and it was one of those ones that just, like, you could feel the rhythm, you know? Yeah, I'm going to go drums on this one. I mean, you could argue melodies, but let's go drums. Let's go drums for sure. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. And again, much like the instrumental, vocal mix for Sam's Raps is fucking fantastic. Crisp, clean, levels are solid. Not too loud, but not too low. Kind of hits that good sweet spot of like raw, but not too raw. Because again, like for what Sam's Raps does and like what their style is, you don't really need too much crazy mixing or anything like that. But like for what's there, it does its job and it makes everything sounds fuller and more rich, you know? So definitely no gripes with the vocal mix per usual, like I said, with the instrumental. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately point out that would like, you know, kind of gripe me out, you know? But so vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. This one's kind of tough because, right? I mean, you could really argue writing here. You definitely could argue writing. But flow and cadence and delivery is like really up there. I kind of want to go flow and cadence and delivery, even though the writing is really, really crazy. There's some bars in here that are fucking nuts, but yeah, I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go flow and cadence and delivery just because the switch up halfway through, and it was just it was so effortless and it was so buttery. Yeah, flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Endless Discover Sams. Aesthetics, of course. I spoke a little bit about the Moss and Me a few times when it comes down to the cover, but like I said, it's like the definition of like summer to me. You know, kind of like shit that you'd find like outside your grandmother's house. You know, flowers like this growing, and kind of has that good like July through like September kind of vibe. You know, so I really, really like this cover a lot. It's simple and straight to the point, especially for like a smaller project or just like a just like any really summertime project, really. I feel like this one fucking nails it, if you ask me. So, aesthetics definitely on point, 100%. Overall theme, endless discover Sam's. This one's kind of funny because this one is just like a raw like talent showcase of what Sam's raps can do to a beat in like under 2 minutes. Like this is fucking crazy. Um, this is one where somebody approached you on the street, right, and they were like, "Yo, like you make music? I didn't know that." This is another one of those tracks. This is definitely another one of those tracks as to where if you showed somebody this that like had no idea that you made music, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" 100% they would. 100% they would. They'd be like, "Bro, no way," like so this is really one of those like cover songs that you show anybody, so definitely one that you appreciate the writing and lyricism and just the pure skill with it, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. And, of course, make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Let's fucking go, baby. That was a crazy submission, my friends. That was probably like one of my favorites on the project so far. If I had to really pick, definitely. Okay. Let's see here. So we left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie Fonzie, a very very talented hip hop artist. Came through with another collab with KRB, and it is titled "Deeper Love." Now Fonzie's been killing it, especially with like a lot of their recent collabs and. Just their recent single run has been really, really solid. And like I said, Fonzie, very, very talented hip-hop artist, has been insane this summer. So I'm definitely excited to see what we have here. Let's see. Let's get into it. Fonzie with KRB UK Deeper Love. Let's go.
How many times do I have to start again? I've lasted longer than a permanent marker pen. So many people pass through that aren't my friend.
Yeah, shout out Sam's Raps, Ghost, for sure.
Wanted me to starve with them. I'ma keep digging till I palm a gem. Lost the momentum, which is hard to get. But now I'm back chipping at it hard again. Billing Ziggy's bunning off a stem. Who motivates the motivator? Who's cancelling the canceller? Who coordinates the coordinator? All I see is France, so I know who's France here. I thought I'd be happy with a load of paper, but it's important that I know my maker. He showed me which roads are danger. It was out of love, I don't owe a favour. I weren't sure if I was coming back, contemplating if I've still got a love for that. Before I dip, I got a double back. Right now I'm in my duffel bag, bag. There's 100 mags and everything I need to get back to cooking crack. Moving forward, no looking back. Yeah, I fell off, but I'm touching back. I want a sweet one touching base. I'll take her to Planet Bounce. My Princess Leia while we're up in space. She knows her place while we're at the house. Assume the position that you wish to take. I'ma take my time, I won't be in and out. Water sports is what I wish to play. Complete freestyle, there's no time to think it out. Something so good I wanna sing and shout. Something so wet I could wring it out. Something so tight I gotta drill it out. For the perfect fit, yeah, I gotta fill it out. Like a petition or application form. It's good loving what I'm advocating for. It ain't written, but they need to make it law. Some man can't get enough, so they have to pay for more. I'm trying to aim for more. I love women, but paper talks. Sometimes you gotta make a choice. Priorities can change a boy. It separates the boys from men. I call that boy my friend. I want success for all of them. And sometimes I feel like I see their potential more than them. I couldn't count how many times I've fought for them. Now it's time for me. Who's gonna fight and live my life for me? No one. I don't expect you to, but I gotta make decisions that are right for me. Give it a bit of time, you'll see what I really mean. Trying to fill from an empty cup, yeah, that's a scary scene. It's an impossible task, as you clearly see. I've got so many facts, we could be here for weeks, months and years. Inside I cried 100 tears for people who wasn't there, but felt I needed still. Kinda selfish for me to feel, but I was still trying to find my feet, trying to navigate in a life that weren't really designed for me. To unlock greatness, you gotta find the keys, and I don't have them all, I probably never will. I'm just trying to get us to the bag without getting killed.
What the fuck? Holy shit, Fonzie fucking stepped on this. Wow. Holy shit. That was 3 minutes of fucking that just had you locked in, bro. That just had you absolutely fucking locked in. Wow. Wow. That was really impressive. That was one of the ones where it's like, you know, you're so focused on the flow and cadence that the lyrics just like flow inside of you, and you're just like, wow, like you're just taking it all in. I enjoyed that one a lot. That was quite the journey there. That's for sure. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Deeper Love. So, instrumental. Love the instrumental. I feel like the instrumental is fucking everything. It has this good like R&B trap vibe, kind of like softer trap, slow trap. You know what I mean? It really has one of those vibes. So, perfect for Fonzie and their storytelling style, right? So I love the choice. Instrumental mix is solid though. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I love the sound selection on the drums. Some of the samples are really well utilized. They're not like overdone. Nothing that I would like really gripe about on this one, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And I really like how Fonzie sounds on it. So yeah, no real gripes, to be honest with you, when it comes down to the instrumental mix at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. You know, I kind of want to say drums. I won't lie to you, but I don't know, because you could like, you know, there's the sample, right? The melodies are really solid, but the drums are so nice, and the structure is actually really underrated as well. Hmm. Hmm. You know what? I guess we probably should go drums though, huh? The pace is so nice, and they're nice and hard hitting, and it gives like a good like balance to like the more softer kind of melody, and like the softer kind of energy that the melody brings. Um, you know what? Yeah. Let's go drums on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic per usual. Fonzie has a very consistent vocal mix, especially for their style, right? Raw, straight to the point, but very like crisp and clean and clear. You know, levels are solid, and like I said, drums cut through nicely. So nothing that I would like ultimately gripe about when it comes down to vocals, right? So vocal mix up there, vocal shining star. I mean, it's got to be writing, right? I mean, it's 3+ minutes of insane writing. I mean, flow and cadence and delivery's up there. You could definitely argue flow, but the writing throughout the whole track is just like, whoa. You know what I mean? It really makes you lock in. So I'm gonna go writing and lyrics on this. Definitely writing and lyrics for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. A very interesting choice for a cover, right? Has this like microscope germ kind of you know, like how you see like entities and things like that like under a microscope. It kind of looks like that, and it's a very interesting choice for a track titled Deeper Love, right? So probably something subliminal going on there, and I find that very interesting for sure. But aesthetics definitely on point for sure. Overall theme, Deeper Love. This is a deep one, man. I feel like Fonzie really talks about quite a few things here. Not only just love, but being successful in life. Taking care of yourself. Staying motivated. Like there's a really deep meaning here, and I feel like Fonzie was just getting a whole lot off of their chest when it comes down to, certain topics that they wanted to speak about. And this one definitely felt like appropriate to do that on, just because the instrumental provided such like an emotional kind of starting point, and I feel like Fonzie just picked it up and fucking ran with it. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Fonzie. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Fonzie, by the way. They're only 7 followers away from 180 on YouTube. So make sure you go sub to their channel, man. And of course, make sure you go follow Fonzie on Twitter. They are 7 followers away from 980. Make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Let's get it, baby. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's see. That was a crazy submission, man. That was a fucking crazy submission. You shout out to Fonzie. Let's see. So we left off with Fonzie, actually, and up next is an artist that we haven't heard from in quite some time. Now, an artist by the name of Smokin' Cola has submitted Withdrawal Symptoms. Now, Smokin' Cola, a very, very talented alternative artist, has been a little bit MIA for quite some time, but they've been releasing music again slowly but surely. It hasn't been that long, but been a little bit. So let's go see what Smokin' Cola has been up to. And their caption, alrighty, it's been a bit, but I got new music out and more on the way. Let's go. This one is called Withdrawal Symptoms. Hope you like it. Also, for peeps who buy it on Bandcamp, I'm giving away a shirt. Go check out that Bandcamp link, baby. Let's go. Oh my God, right there. Go check that out. Let's go pop this open in Spotify and see what we got. So, skirt, give it a quick little pause, Rooney. Like I said, it's been a while since we heard from Smokin' Cola, man. So, let's go see what they've been up to. So, alternative artist, Smokin' Cola, Withdrawal Symptoms. Let's go. Wow. Wow. Melody's crazy, I agree. Holy shit. Wow. Very tough. Well done. Well done. That's a crazy first song back, by the way. That's a crazy, crazy first song back. Wow. And you nailed it too. It has this like really good like grunge punk, almost like fusing like a couple different styles here, you know, but still very, very original and unique. Well done. Well fucking done. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of withdrawal symptoms. So, instrumental. Well, first off, instrumental mix is great. Nothing like super loud or super clashing or anything like that. I feel like vocals sat pretty well with it, so can't really gripe about it too much, especially when it comes to these live instrument-based instrumentals. Some of these can be a fucking insane bitch to mix, and some of them are just really easy, right? So kind of really depends on the track, but I feel like Smoke and Cola definitely hit like a nice sweet spot with the instrumental mix, so no gripes there. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, holy shit, you know, because the melodies were crazy, the drums were really solid as well. I feel like the drums are something that you could like look over if you're really focused on the melody and whatnot, but I feel like structure's up there too, you know. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with melodies just because they are insane. They are really, really insane. But I feel like the structure's a close second though. But let's go with melodies just because they have such a good lead here. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. It does have this really good grungy, raw, raspy kind of mix, but not really like unmixed, right? It has like a nice sweet spot. Still keeps that griminess to it, but it's not like overly raw where it's like, you know, unbearable or anything like that. So nothing really to gripe about when it comes down to the vocals, especially for the style that Smoke and Cola is really going for here, and you know, what they really ultimately came up with. I definitely like the vocals for where they're at for sure. So nothing super clashy, too overbearing or anything like that. I feel like the drums cut through nicely as well. So no like ultimate gripes on the vocals here that I could really like sit here and yap about, you know. So vocal mix up there. Vocal Shining Star, gotta be the hook. I feel like the hook is definitely like everything when it comes to this song. It has all like the attitude, it has all like the seriousness and the emotion, and has the flow and cadence, and it's got that little snazziness to it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the hook on this one. I'm definitely gonna go with the hook on this one. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Now, aesthetics are super fucking on point. Whoever did this cover did a fucking amazing job. Smoke and Cola in the top left, withdrawal symptoms in the bottom right. But it's like there's these fucking demons on top of a body, right? And for anybody who's ever like gone off of a medicine or even withdrawn off like caffeine, okay, like I don't care if you're like a caffeine addict and you stop taking caffeine. You know what it's like when you withdraw off of anything that your body's addicted to, and this is what it's like. This is definitely what it's like. This is a fucking pure great representation here of withdrawing off anything for sure. So, great cover, great cover. Overall theme, withdrawal symptoms. I mean, you know, there's a couple ways that you could take this, right? I mean, when it comes down to withdrawal symptoms, that like it could be like actually legitimately withdrawing, or it's kind of like a metaphor for other things in life, right? I mean, you could, you know, theoretically withdraw off of love, or withdraw off of, you know, your friends, or withdraw off of food or something, you know what I mean? Like you can withdraw in different ways. But I feel like, you know, there's again a couple good ways that you could really take this, but I feel like Smoke and Cola really got the point across when it comes down to withdrawal symptoms, no pun intended. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Smoke and Cola. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Smoking Cola on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow Smoking Cola on Twitter. We're only $100 away from 1.3K on the Bird apps. Make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it. You already have. Thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Alrighty, you guys know the dealio here. We are about halfway through the show, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of the community submissions. So I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go take a break, go for a quick walk, maybe go get a smoke break, maybe go get a snack, maybe go walk the dog or anything like that. And like I said, when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of the community submissions, so don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 239. Hope we had a good commercial break, but we're going to dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So, we left off with the homie Smokin' Cola. Up next is the homie Hedgelocked with Ari in Color, a very, very talented alternative crew. Came through with a new Ladyface EP dropped Friday. This is the lead track. Shit, I'm down. I'm down. It's been like a month or so since we heard from them, so let's see what they got in store. Hedgelocked at arm's length with Ari in Color. Let's see. So we got a 4-track project. This is the lead first track that you'll hear on E. Okay, I'm down. Let's get into it. Feather.
It takes a boy to fall apart. It takes a man to get back together. No concern about the weather. Take my hand and we'll fly on a feather. Back home. Keep the lights on. They'll be back by nightfall. I'm told you're with them on the bird. How could I compare to what I see? Compare me to the roses in the rain. Hear dogs holler when they see the view from the balcony where I jumped past the roses.
Do you think that if you were falling in space, that you would slow down after a while or go faster and faster?
Heavy set on death, I have a new view on you from the tower of the hill. I can see you
A long time you wouldn't feel anything.
from the same damn tower that
Then you burst into fire.
back to the
And the angels wouldn't help you. Because they've all gone away.
Wow. That was very, very ethereal. That was one of the ones where it just puts you in like a dreamlike state. You're just like in a trance and you're just like locked in. You know what I mean? So that was insane. That was really, really insane. Well done, my friend. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we are gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Feather. So, let's talk instrumental. So I love this instrumental. Very cloud-like, very alternative, kind of like blending a few different styles, right? But super, super well done. Mix is good though. Nothing clashing too overbearing, especially with a little bit more of that raw style. The mix is very crisp. Vocals sound really solid on it. Levels are good. Yeah, nothing that I can really like super gripe about. You know what I mean? So I'm big on the instrumental mix here, 100%. It definitely hits that good like middle ground sweet spot. So definitely where it needs to be. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. Gotta be the melody, right? I mean, drums are up there, but the melody is like, whoa. You know what I mean? The melody brings that real ethereal, cloud like indie alt kind of feel. So, drums are up there too. I do like the structure, but man, let's go with the melodies here. And the melodies are crazy. 100%. 100%. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. The vocal mix does bring a lot of that dreamlike, cloud-like kind of feel as well, which I think really, really complements the instrumental. And I feel like they knew what they wanted to do when it came down to this style and this mix. And I feel like that, like once again, they hit like a good sweet spot on like what this was really gonna sound like. So, as far as quality goes, no like super gripes, nothing like super clashy, too overbearing either. Drums cut through nicely. Levels are good, quality's good. Nothing I would like ultimately gripe about on this either, you know what I mean? Especially for like the style that it is. Again, I definitely feel like it hit a good sweet spot for sure. So vocal mix up there, vocal shining star on the other hand, definitely the fucking hook. The hook is like one of those catchy ones that like you just randomly think about one day and you're just like, dude, I have to listen to that song. You know what I mean? So it's definitely one of those. But definitely the hook for sure. Writing and lyrics are a close second, but let's go with the hook. Definitely. Definitely. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. At arm's length, the full EP cover. I love this combo. I love this combo, right? Because you're taking like the IRL kind of aspect of it, but also you're adding a little bit more spice and a little bit more pizzazz, right? Especially with the AAL kind of acronym here, but it's like those like magazine cutout styles. So like for like a small EP like this, I feel like this fucking nailed it for sure. Nothing that I would like ultimately change on this or anything like that. I feel like the aesthetics are very much on point, and it does give a little bit of more that like darker cloud like feel even in the art as well, right? So, aesthetics definitely up there, definitely up there. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, feather. I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple of ways that you could kind of go about this, but again, I feel like this is like a little bit more of a subliminal track, right? And using feather as like a metaphor for yourself, but also kind of not really at the same time, so this is one where you could really kind of take your own theme from it, but also definitely one that you just got to appreciate the writing for, you know what I mean? So well done, my friends, well done. Huge shout out to Hedgelock. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course make sure you go follow Wild Southpaw on Twitter as well. They are 30 followers away from 300 or 10 away from 280, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and show some love, baby. Let's get it. Well done, my friends. Well done. Let's see. So up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon, so we've already reacted to Jordan's submission earlier in the show. So definitely go check out the top of episode 239. Make sure you go show Jordan and the rest of our Patreons some love. So following Jordan, up next we have the homie Ghost, a very, very talented multi-genre producer. Ghost has been on a run, and they've been recently sharing a shit ton of unreleased instrumentals with us here on the show. So this week they came through with 2093 album beat co-prod Baby X Prod 155. All right, let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. I'm down for the cause. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Just in time. Let's get it, Ghost. We are about to lock the fuck in. All right, 2093 album beat. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Be so fucking crazy that it must be Ghost produced.
This drop's gonna be nuts. Wow. What the fuck? Bass is crazy. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. This one is a vibe. Yeah, you were not kidding. What the fuck? This 2093 Supertrap album meme. No, yeah, like what the fuck? It's so futuristic. It's so like it's so ahead of its time. It's definitely got that super trap like, you know, kind of like future trap sort of feel to it, you know, but it's very like almost like industrial trap almost. Like it's bringing like this like very almost like cyberpunk kind of feel and it's got this like it's got this energy to it that's really really nuts, like really really fucking nuts. um and the drums and the sound selection across the board is really fucking crazy. But let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme. Instrumental mix absolutely fantastic across the board, especially with like some of these unconventional sounds that you won't see in a lot of like regular genres or like adjacent genres, right? Like even some of like the percussion and like the bass and the way it's all structured out. I feel like the mix is like very fucking sharp, like really really sharp, like nothing that I would like ultimately change on this whatsoever. I really really like how it is now. Because everything complements each other, right? But I feel like the sound selection, everything down from the drums to the bass, just to everything is just really, really similar. And like everything is so finely kind of picked out that I feel like it really does complement each other, right? And it makes it feel futuristic as well. You know what I mean? Like, so instrumental mix definitely on point. Definitely on point. Sarah would be so good. It's so fun. It makes it the hardest part in this. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell for sure. Like, cause I just can't imagine like looking at those levels and being like, dude, fuck. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And like the sound selection too. I feel like the sound selection is really, really fucking solid. Like I can't get over how well everything complements each other. You know, everything sounds futuristic. The drums, the samples, just everything in here sounds great. Um, so instrumental mix. With that said, definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, you know, I really love the bass, and a lot of the melodies are great. The drums are awesome, you know, but I think one really underrated part about this too is probably the structure. I love how it starts out. I love how it drops. I love how it ends. I might say structure on this. I'm not gonna lie. I might say fucking structure. But like the melodies are a real close second. A real, real close second. So many drums that doesn't like these kicks and hi-hats, 808 snare perks. Yeah, right. Sometimes bells and sound effects. Right, exactly, exactly. You got the whole lineup in this one for sure, for sure. Um, but I think I think I really will say structure, but you know, drums really are a close second though. But the way it's structured out and the way it progresses and the way it drops, I think I will say structure for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. So obviously unreleased you know, futuristic style of a super trap beat, right? And it's one of those things where it totally hit the nail on the head for me. You know what I mean? Like it totally hit the nail on the head for that like cyberpunk, cyber trap sort of like real futuristic feel. And that's what I feel like these two fucking nailed. You know what I mean? Like these two fucking nailed that for sure. Like it hit the nail on the head when it comes down to like this sort of futuristic style. Like you hear this and this is what you're gonna hear in like, you know, a good like 50 years, like all the time. For sure. 100%. 100%. So I feel like Ghost definitely fucking nailed it when it came to that, man. So well done, my friend. Well done. This is fantastic. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. They're only 7 followers away from 540, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. Much love. It's so creative. It's so fun to make. I can't wait for the final product. I can't wait for the final product. It's gonna be so sick. Thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for the submission. Let's fucking get it, baby. Much love. So, that was a crazy instrumental from the homie Ghost. Up next would be the homie TDG, but we already reacted to TDG earlier in the show. Because TDG is a Music Mondays Patreon, so definitely go check out the top of episode 239 and make sure you go show TDG and all of our Patreons some love. Let's get it. So, let's see here. This area will showcase a lot from us too. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, no, 100%. Both you guys are leveling up like crazy. Great duo, you know? Always have been. But up next we have the homie Spooky Peter back with another instrumental. Now Spooky Peter, a multi-genre producer, has came through with a Juice WRLD XXX Tentacion type beat. My name is Spooky Peter. I post a beat on YouTube and BeatStars every day. This is one of 200 beats available. Thank you for all the love. Let's get it, Spooky Peter. Now, Spooky Peter was a first-time submitting artist last week here on the show, so this will be our second Spooky Peter experience here. Now, last one was a little bit more of an original release. This one's a little bit more of a type beat from X and Juice WRLD. Time Goes By. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let's get into it. Spooky Peter, Juice WRLD X, Time Goes By. Let's go. We get a few feats as well. Let's go. Okay. I see the vision, yeah, for sure.
Spooky.
There's a bounce to it as well, for sure.
Spooky.
I really like the visual with it too. The visual is really nice with it.
Thoughts spooky.
Wow. Well done. Really fucking well done. Wow. I enjoyed that. Holy shit. Second submission from Spooky Peter, man, and we actually are starting to get a little bit more of a grasp, and they have such a really good, like, like dark trap, kind of like lo-fi rap, kind of like emo rap sort of vibe, right? And they do really, really well with it. Let's talk about it. Shit, let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about two things, because obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Time Goes By. So, instrumental mix. Love the instrumental mix. Everything's really, really tight, well-rounded. Everything complements each other. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Drums hit hard. Sample usage is great. It's not like super overdone. It's kind of used like in place of a hook, right? But yeah, no real gripes with the instrumental mix. Definitely not. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Man, you know, I do like the sample a lot. Sample is really well utilized. But the drums are up there too. Like I do like the bounce of the drums. Structure's up there too, though. I kind of want to say structure, man. Structure's really, really nice because it really complements the sample. You know, like everything's like really works super well around the sample. So let's go structure here. Even though you could argue a few of those, but I'm gonna go with structure on this one for sure. Let's go with structure here. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I love the visual for this. You know, just putting an extra few minutes into like a visual for a type beat or, you know, any sort of like instrumental project is always gonna do you a plus, right? And kind of picking like that like Tumblr Girls sort of style with like their usual like skull logo and the Spooky Peter aesthetics, right? And I feel like they do a really good job with it. You know, the tag and then like all the flashing on the screen. I feel like that's like a really, really nice adjustment. Like it just really fits well with everything, and it's not like too distracting, but it's not like, you know, kind of dull either. So I like the visual. I definitely like the aesthetics on this a lot. Overall theme, obviously a Juice and X type beat, right? Time goes by, you know, is obviously said in the sample. So I feel like they definitely nail the theme when it comes down to that sort of style, but at the same time, it still is like a very like Spooky Peter sort of style, you know, like especially like judging based of off of their first submission last week is definitely, you know, somewhat similar as well. So they definitely have like good like alt style for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Spooky Peter. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Spooky Peter, man. They're only one sub away from 170. And of course, make sure you go follow Spooky Peter on Twitter. There's a brand new Twitter account. They're only 9 followers away from 10. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Get it, baby. All right. Everyone is so good now. Yeah. Everyone's definitely got their little niches for sure, which is good, you know? Good thing. All right. So up next would be the homie Laverius, but we've already reacted to Laverius earlier in the show because Laverius is a Music Mondays Patreon, so definitely go check out the top of 239 and make sure you go show all of our patrons, including Laverius, some love. Now, following Laverius is the homie Most Dope Kimon. Now again, Kimon's been on a fucking another run, you know. They've been on another run, you know, random album drops, collabs, EPs, more visuals, and of course, Most Dope Kimon being a very, very talented hip-hop and hip-hop adjacent artist, has came through with the official music video for Balenci Slides. Now, Balenci Slides is a track that we've already reacted to, right? But we have not reacted to the music video. So that's what's going to be very interesting about this tonight. So I am very, very excited. So 9 days ago, super new. Comments are hilarious, but lots of love. We love that. Okay. Brand new Most Dope Kimon music video, quite literally 9 days old. Balenci Slides. Let's get into it. Oh, this is gonna be sick. hits. Fire. So fucking fire, man. What the fuck? It's gotta be one of my favorite ones. And the summer vibes here are like immaculate. Like Kimon really fucking nailed the summer vibes there. Like a nice like warm summer night. That's what that feels like to me. A nice warm summer fucking night. Wow. Wow. Okay. So we've already reacted to this audio, but I want to re-react to it with the music video. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, this is good. Yeah, no, I actually really love this video. Let's talk instrumental. So again, a very Kimon type instrumental, right? Kind of has that like alt plug feel, a little bit of rage, a little bit of trap, a little bit of everything, right? It's kind of genre blending and definitely a Kimon style instrumental, like I said. So I like the choice, obviously. Instrumental mix, again, fantastic. Sound selection's great. Kimon sounds great on the instrumental. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Nothing that I could really grab about as far as quality goes, because again, drums hit good. Melodies are fine. Vocals sit nice. Yeah, nothing that I could like really like super grab about on the instrumental. So it definitely fits Kimon like really well. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, I think I did say drums the last time, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say drums again. Like I don't think that's gonna change. Like it's definitely fucking drums, bro. Like the drums on this instrumental are crazy, especially the patterns in the sound selection, like I said. But I do like the drums for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, it has that Kimon kind of flavor to it, right? And it's clean, crisp, clear. Definitely has the good kind of like sweet spot when it comes down to the instrumental as well. Not like overtaking the instrumental, but it's not like too low either, you know. So levels are good. I definitely agree that this kind of like sits in the nice sweet spot for Kimon. Perfect amount of effects per usual. Nothing like super out of the ordinary for Kimon, right? Very consistent mix when it comes down to their vocals, especially when it comes down to some of their more melodic tracks, right? So vocal mix solid. Vocal Shining Star. You know, flow and cadence and delivery, I think I said last time, but this time I kind of want to go with writing, because like on the second spin back, there are some bars in here where I was like, all right, yeah. So there's some clever shit right here. So let's go writing and lyrics for this one. 100%. Let's go writing lyrics. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk about the official music video for Balenci Slides. So, great thing about this music video is, you know, Kimon really hit the summer nail on the head, right? And, you know, a lot of these locations, right? Like the court, you know, outside the, you know, convenience store, you know, kind of like on the stairway here, like the variety in locations is perfect. And then like the transition to each location is also perfect, right? But it's not like drowning in effects, but it still has that like good like switch up, you know, because like some effects are like, you know, like you saw just there, the VHS sort of style. Then you have like the blurry filter kind of style, and each transitions really well. You know what I mean? So again, it's really up to par with the other Kimon music videos, right? I feel like you know, Kimon set like a really good standard for himself, and I feel like each video gets better and better and more cleaner and more creative almost, right? Like Kimon's almost using his imagination a little bit more sometimes with kind of like what they want to do for certain videos. But I think the shining star for this one, to be so real with you, is the locations, because it just reminds me of summer, right? Like a nice warm summer night, you're just chilling with the homies, you know, smoking, chilling, just trying to get some clips. Like this is what this reminds me of a lot, especially with like the Balenci Slides song in general. You know, it's a very summer kind of track. So I feel like the location is definitely a shining star, 100%. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Most Dope came on. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their channel, man. They're only one sub literally away from 100. That's a fucking cool ass milestone. So make sure you go get them to 100. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon's Twitter over here. They're 6 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alright, my friends. Up next, we have the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring being a multi-talented producer, artist, designer, writer, editor, engineer, all the above, has been killing their YouTube game as of recently, and a lot of their Walking Onslaught's edits. But this week, they came through the new upload titled Somewhere. Let's pop it open a new tab and see what we got here. I'm down. I am down. Alright, let's go 720. New Offspring Mysterious. Somewhere. Let's get into it. It looks like these clips are a bit older too. He's on the ground and shit. Oh. Bouncing was fire. Calling the homies. Oh shit. Definitely calling the homies. Oh. Clean as shit. Oh. Like, what up? He's like, bruh. W transition. Not the headphones. Gonna be good.
try so hard, but I get nowhere. Wanna say I don't, but I really do care. I can fake a smile with the words I say, but on the inside I'm sad all day. Everyone is dying, feel it deep inside, and I don't wanna feel this, wanna rewind it. I try so hard, but I get nowhere. I try so hard, but I get nowhere. I'm going nowhere, I can't even go there. Stuck in a slow state, how did I get here? Have you ever
Fire, what the fuck?
that you don't even care? I'm going nowhere, I can't even go there. Stuck in a slow state, how did I get here? Have you ever been here? That you don't even care. I don't wanna feel this, but it's not rewinding. It's never gonna slow down, only gonna go down, just running out of time. And I try so hard, but I get nowhere. Wanna say I don't, but I really do care. I can fake a smile with the words I say, but on the inside I'm sad all day. Everyone is dying, feel it deep inside, and I don't wanna feel this, wanna rewind it. I try so hard, but I get nowhere. I try so hard, but I get nowhere. I don't wanna know why we gotta go. Living in an image and an image, doing an image, spinning an illusion that we
He's like, what up? That's probably one of the better music video segments that we've seen too, which is pretty fucking crazy.
never gonna slow down, only gonna go down, just running out of time. And I try so hard, but I get nowhere. Wanna say I don't, but I really do care. I can fake a smile with the words I say, but on the inside I'm sad all day. Everyone's lying, feel it deep inside, and I don't wanna feel this, wanna rewind it.
Good ass song choice, man. Well done, well done. That one was fun. When did that come out? 2 days ago? And like a lot of that footage was like a bit older because there was like leaves on the ground and shit. Well fucking done, Offspring. Well done. I really, really enjoyed this one. This one was just fun, you know. It was just a good time, and again, it progresses the story that much further. And you know, it was kind of nostalgic seeing like the basketball clips and whatnot because I completely forgot we that was like a thing, you know. But this one was solid, really enjoyable, really, really enjoyable. I think the shining star here, to be completely truthful with you, is probably the music video segment. I feel like Offspring is getting really, really good at that, and which is crazy because it's like editing an edit within an edit, right? Like editing a music video like inside of an edit is pretty insane. So the fact that Offspring is really going and like doing that, but like doubling down and improving on it is fucking insane. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Shining star here is most definitely the music video segment, but the concept is good too. You could totally argue the concept for sure. So. With that said, a huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, by the way. They're only 10 subs away from 250, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They're only 3 followers away from 820. So go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. You already have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. You're at Music Mondays, my friends. So, that concludes episode 239, man. We had a fucking stacked night tonight, if I do say so myself. Let's give some shout outs, let's give some updates, let's close it out, and let's show some love and all that good at Jazzaroonie. So, first off, huge shout out to the chat and anybody that came through and showed love tonight. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost, per usual, and thank you so much for coming through for fucking quite literally 8 months, my friend. Thank you so much. You're a fucking legend for that. Huge shout out to anybody else that came through and Lurk and Shield. Huge shout out to Laverius 100%. You're a fucking legend as well. That submission tonight was fucking crazy. Huge shout out to, and like I said, anybody else that Lurk and Shield and came through. Much love. You're welcome. Much love, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate you here. So let's see here, my friends. Per usual, huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons of the night. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan, TDG, and Laverius. Huge shout out to the rest of our patrons over there. Kruger, Dry My Eyes, King Mark, and Ryuki. You guys are also fucking wonderful, man. Thank you. Huge shout out to everybody else that did submit tonight. The homie Sam's Raps, Swansea, Smoking Cola, Quill, Jordan, Ghost, TDG, Spooky Peter, Laverius, Mosto, Kimon, Offspring, Mysterious, and everybody else that did submit. Thank you, my friends. Much love. We appreciate you. If you'd like to submit for next week's show, submissions open tomorrow, August 19th, 2025. So if you're watching this live, submissions open tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already open. So make sure you go drop your links and portfolios on the tweet. And of course, this episode will be available on Patreon tonight. It'll be available on all audio platforms this Thursday. And it'll be available on our YouTube channel this Saturday. So make sure you go check those out and go show those some love. And per usual, you can stream all the Music Mondays podcast episodes on anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. All 200 plus episodes are available everywhere and anywhere you listen to podcasts or even YouTube. So definitely go check those out and go show that some love. Things that are coming up, so we'll be pretty much handling Battle of the Beats for the rest of the week, and I'll be updating you guys periodically here on the show, and we'll be announcing the bracket and getting all the producers their resources and whatnot. So make sure you stay tuned for some Battle of the Beats updates, and of course all of your weekly and monthly content will be staying the same, like I said. So lots of stuff coming, my friends. Lots of stuff coming. Summer is not even close to being over yet, so let's continue the fucking grind, shall we? And of course, make sure you follow Music Mondays on all social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Skies, Threads, TikTok, Tumblr. We are everywhere at All Music Mondays. And of course, make sure you follow me on socials at ZomSlays. You can follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all the socials linked down below per usual. I quite literally stream 5-6 days a week. We're always in here kicking it, watch party jazz, and all that good stuff. Now that events are starting to calm down, I can finally get back into some speedrunning content, which would be great. So lots of cool stuff coming on the channel, but I'll be live tomorrow per usual, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we'll be live next week for Music Mondays episode 240. So make sure you be there or be square, my friends. That does it. That concludes episode 239. I'm your boy ZomSlays. This is Music Mondays. Battle of the Beats updates, top 3 updates, all that good stuff coming this week. So make sure you stay tuned for that and keep your eyes peeled, man. And much love. Be safe. I love you all. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow and next Monday. Let's get it.